Week 10 has come and gone. The only thing we got left is that pesky Monday night football game between those Philadelphia Eagles and Green Bay Packers. Now, I think that game is going to be pretty good. So I'm hoping that I am not on the dumpster fire awards next week, because if it's a bad game, then that's on me. But I got them written down a day early, because when you're working on this starting out, you got no writers, you got no editor, you ain't got no thumbnail person, you ain't got nothing except yourself and the thoughts in your head that can make you go insane. But this is Hilltime Sports, and I'm your host, Trenton. The guy doesn't have good analogies. Hill! Let's get into it. Starting with the Fraudulent Team Award. There's those teams out there that make you feel like, oh, they're really good, and then the next week they play really bad. Oh, we've seen that this week, especially on Sunday night, when the Pittsburgh Steelers scored a whopping 3 points until garbage time, when Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown. He had 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, and they let Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, and the rest of the crew, no Joe Alt, no Slater, they won. They won big time. What was the final score? 25-3. It was not a scoreagami for those of you that pay attention to those things. I didn't even know what the hell it was until I heard about it on Discord. But Pittsburgh, what's your problem? Are you good? Are you bad? You get my Fraudulent Team of the Week award, bounce back, and you might just win me over again, and I got to choose someone else. But the next award, the Turnover Battle Award, the team with the most turnovers in a losing effort. Oh, you managed to make Tua Tagovailoa look like he was Peyton Manning out there, because Josh Allen, he had 2 turnovers. James Cook had another turnover, and they got the crap beat out of them 30-13. I mean, this game was over pretty quickly, and no one suspected this. I mean, Miami Dolphins are what, 3-7, 2-7, or whatever the heck they were this week. They weren't looking good, and I was looking all over YouTube. Maybe there's people watching this game on YouTube play-by-play. I didn't find anybody. Did have a friend that was commentating about it, but he looked frustrated as well. Next up on the awards, the Bonehead Award, the player or coach or organization that does the most buffoonish thing in the NFL. At first, I was like, well, Miami did call a timeout before the first play of the game and then decided to do a penalty before the first game of the play. But then I was like, in the words of Dr. Solomon, what about me? And then I thought about Bijan Robinson and him not being on the field for the most important drive of that Atlanta Falcons and Indianapolis Colts game. But then, to top it all off, we had the most bonehead, the most ludicrous, the most idiotic thing you could do in a football game. Get yourself ejected for punching someone. And I'm talking about you, Mr. Payne, who decided during a 44-point beatdown of the Commanders, you decided to punch Detroit Lions player Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, Javon Kinlaw was like, oh, he punched first, but no. It don't work that way. It's usually the second player that gets kicked out of the game. So for that, you are the buffoon of the week, the bonehead player, the most idiotic thing to go on in the NFL. But we're moving on to the next thing. The losing tacklers of the week award, the Atlanta Falcons stuffed Jonathan Taylor at the line. It didn't look very good, but suddenly Jonathan Taylor pops his way out to the left, and no one decided to tackle him, and he went off and scampered for an 83-yard touchdown, and the Falcons lost that game. They're not a good team. No, I thought they were going to be a good team, and they just look like drag. I don't even know. Next up, the cursed player of the week. We got to give it to Mr. Jackson Dart, who went down with a concussion. I mean, this guy is playing with nobody, basically. No Malik Neighbors, no Scatabo, now anything. It's got injuries all over the place. I would give it to McCaffrey for carrying the 49ers, but I think having a concussion and getting knocked out of the game is a lot worse than, carrying the team on your back. And next up, the best bad team for 3 quarters. We're going to give it to 2 teams this week. First off, this one's got a little bit of an asterisk in it because there was no Jackson Dart. Caleb Williams throws 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter to win the game against the New York Football Giants. Now, I know Dart wasn't playing, but kudos to Ben Johnson and the rest of the squad. But I think the team that we can talk about most, and they're a bad team right now, but they have the potential to be good, the Houston Texans, who were down for 3 quarters, but in that 4th quarter, they scored 26 unanswered, and it's a shame because the Jacksonville Jaguars were once a good team back in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, and then now they've just wet the bed, or whatever analogy you want to put here. I'm really not good at this stuff on the fly. I ain't got no writers. I'm kind of dull. I'm sorry. And moving on to the anti-game of the week. We had overthrows. We had bad interceptions. We had Geno Smith going down. We had the only cool play of the game when Tillman intercepted the pass and showed off his big man moves. The Raiders and the Broncos, a 10-7 snooze fest. I mean, this game was so bad, I had friends and I in the Discord chat playing poker, playing Among Us, trying to keep ourselves entertained. I'm sorry to all you Broncos fans. I don't know what to make of your team. Are they good? Are they bad? They're 8-2, but they just don't even look good. And the Carson Wentz Award goes to the quarterback who plays hurt and shouldn't be on the field. I mean, you had Kenny Pickett out there for one play. He threw an incompletion. Then you put Geno Smith back out there after he got arm tackled, and he didn't look like he did anything, but apparently he got up with an injury. You could tell he was grimacing in pain, but he was grimacing in pain like he had broken an ankle or something. I don't know what the extent of his injury was, but it is pretty painful to play for the Raiders. Granted that it hasn't been good for the last, 23 years? But Geno Smith, you get my Carson Wentz Award. I hope you feel better, and I hope no one else wins this award next week, but knowing the NFL, someone will. And finally, 2 more awards, actually. The luckiest team in the NFL. How can you not play in a game and be the luckiest team in the league? Talking about you, Tennessee Titans. My brother loves ya. The Jets win, the Saints win. You are the sole winner of the worst team in the NFL so far. You're on the track to get the number 1 pick again. What are you going to do with it this time? You're going to actually draft a receiver that can catch the ball? Are you going to draft an offensive line to make sure Cam Ward doesn't get thrown around like a sack of potatoes? What are you going to do with it? Or are you going to draft another player who doesn't play for your team or just underperforms, like the A.J. Brown trade and that other guy that only played like 1 game for you? Forgot his name. And finally, the losing fan bases of the week. We got the Jaguars, who blew a lead and allowed 26 points in the 4th quarter. You got the Raiders, who have been bad for 23 years, and it doesn't look like the bleeding's going to stop anytime soon. You got the Jets, who won a game after trading away the whole team, it seemed like, and lost out on the number 1 pick so far. And also the Saints, who also lost out on the number 1 pick. But how do you like those dumpster wars this week? The losers, the people who can't play, the cursed players, the fraudulent teams. What do you think? Like and subscribe. Let me know who your worst players of the week are, and I'll see you in the next video. Power rankings. Adios. I mean, why am I doing Diamond Dallas Page? See ya.